Issues at hand, WBS TV, Peter Kivazo, your host, with me, Amos Wekesa, and we're talking tourism. Joseph Kayemba. Joseph, thank you. Joseph says, Peter, this is the best show you've done for me. Finally, someone is thinking of an industry that can make money. I have issues with that industry and the guys that run it in Uganda. They've made the people that are actually the hands in the industry paupers. They make our people look like slaves, dress them up for show and sell, and pay them peanuts. Mr. Wekesa, the day you realize that you make money by selling our dancers, our artifacts, and make their lives better, that is when tourism will grow, because everyone will realize there are opportunities there. But you treat our people almost like they don't exist, except only as items of watching. Would you comment about Joseph?
Well, I think Joseph, unfortunately, I don't think he's a player in the tourism industry.
I don't know. I think he is.
I think so far as we speak, tourism is employing over 500,000 Ugandans. And I can tell Joseph that just even a tour guide in this industry is probably paid a salary of 500,000 as net. He's paid not less than 80,000 shillings per day they work. A tour guide alone could probably be taking, with tips and everything, could probably be taking home over 2 million shillings. And that includes even people that, my tour guides that work for me. They have 4-wheel drives, they have homes. But of course, there are different levels of employees. I employ probably 180 people. There are guys in the village where you pay 200,000, but there are guys who earn 4, 3, 4, 5 million, 10 million shillings in the offices. So Joseph, I don't think is speaking from an informed point of view. Probably is not, maybe he's employing people and he's not paying them himself. At least me, if I was doing that with my talking, everybody would have said, Amos, you're a victim of what you're saying. But there are many guys who are employing and giving better jobs. Now, I think where Joseph probably has a point, it comes to big hotels that are employing especially the biggest number of foreigners. But when you're bringing in expatriate labor, it will come at a very high cost. And like I said, Ugandans are not able to take up the higher jobs because they're bad. But the truth is that our people are not trained. You know, hospitality training is about attitude packaging. We don't have that attitude. You know, Chibazo, you will go to a Ugandan funeral. A Ugandan will serve you so well because he's earning nothing from it. The moment you tell the same Ugandan, you're going to serve at this funeral and I'll pay you, the attitude completely changes. So what hospitality training does, it just tells these people this is actually a job. I mean,
you should earn from it.
You'll earn from it. Me, I was a sweeper earning $10, 20,000 shillings just 17 years ago. But it gave me an opportunity to learn how hospitality works. And I'm here today because I was able to learn and go through stages of life.
Let's get to the native tourism, the local
domestic tourism.
Yes.
Now, I think when it comes to domestic tourism, our biggest challenge is our education system. We study about the prairies, we study about the rainlands, we study about Bismarck, we are examined about the wrong things that can never help us. Very little is studied about this country. In fact, every time I go to give talks, I've decided that as one of the ways I give back is to go and give talks about Uganda. I will give talks to very educated engineers, business people, and they will be shocked about the facts about this country. Why? Because they were not taught about these facts about this country while in school. And because of that, Ugandans assume that everything foreign is better than what Ugandan stuff. And I can give you an example. 2013, for example, we had 55,000 Ugandans that went to Kenya national parks and game reserves. That's why you saw them advertising with New Vision or these people. Kenya comes to advertise here. Yeah. We were the #1 source market for Kenya's tourism on the continent, followed by South Africa, which were 31,000 South Africans that went to Kenya. And it's believed that each Ugandan was spending about $2,000 in Kenya. That's $110 million that left the economy to the Kenyan economy. Now, it only makes sense if we get the equivalent number of Kenyans coming to Uganda.
Coming down here, yes.
Yes, but I also know that Uganda Tourism Board has not had enough resources and the right human resource to be able to push the domestic tourism campaign. And we have also had a fault in Uganda as well, where we have ourselves as tour operators focusing on the foreign market as opposed to focusing on the local market. Now, if you go to Kenya, you have over 50 companies that simply focus on Kenyans traveling within Kenya. Now, this is an opportunity for Ugandans who are out there and listening. It is time for Ugandans to start thinking, how do you package, how do you put together packages that suit Ugandans? The other challenge we have is also we're not people who look for information. For example, a foreigner pays $40, which is 110,000 shillings, 120,000 shillings, to enter a park for a night. A Ugandan pays 15,000 shillings. So the difference is massive. For a foreigner to see mountain gorillas, he pays $600, which is close to 2 million shillings.
Yeah.
A Ugandan pays between 150,000 to 250,000. So there's no need for Ugandans. Yes, accommodations are a bit expensive, but there's an area of investment as well. Ugandans should think about creating accommodations around national parks. Let them invest there instead of investing in flats in the city and complaining. Where every time you see an opportunity and every time you see a challenge, there is an opportunity. And that's how Ugandans should start looking at life.
Amos, if you had children,
Yeah.
10, 12, 8, thereabouts,
Yeah.
and you were dealing with the education sector. Okay, I have a caller coming in. Hello? Yes, good evening.
Good evening, Peter. How are you? I'm almost from the studio.
We are okay. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm calling you Henry.
Sorry, come again?
And I work in the same sector like Amos does. In fact, I'm just admiring to be in the studio, on the studio with that guy. The first thing I would want to comment about is the guy. I think the guy who sent the message does not know what is in the tourism sector when you talk about a tour guide. Tour guide earns more than we who work with the organization that is attached to the government. Really, Amos, thank you very much. I know your company is one of the best that is employing youth tour guides. Now, I want you, Amos, and then Peter and Vincent, to know that we have a wildlife school. This wildlife school is formed in Lake Katwe. I said that is where my origin belongs to. That's why I'm working at the Wildlife Education Center. This school in Uganda is next to Mweka. Mweka is in Tanzania.
Yes.
There.
Yeah.
I would wish, Amos, if possible, you guys get guides from Katwe. I myself, you call me in the middle of the night to talk about any topic concerning wildlife, I will give you. That is one. Then where other problem is coming from, Peter, is in Uganda, who advertise for wildlife or for tourism in Uganda. That is the major thing that Uganda must do to make sure they sort this issue out. So it is supposed to be tourism board. But you realize if executive director of US, executive director of who are going outside the country of Uganda, they just go specifically to either US or for Uganda. It's very, very bad. We need to correct it. Like, you are very so less than even a quarter of what Uganda has. We have, actually, this is the country which is very, very rich in nature. In the whole of African continent.
It's true.
Please let local tourism is weak to make it work. By educating people. Let's have more people going to Katwe. Almost please, you need to employ people coming out of Katwe. You get drivers who know how to drive four-wheel drive, but they don't have knowledge about wildlife. Please, Peter, one day you have me in your studio so that we talk about wildlife or tourism in Uganda more. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A very informed one there from the viewer.
Yeah.
I have Bossa Andrew. Bossa Andrew says, Peter, I appreciate the tourism industry and I love what it is about. But truth be told, it is very expensive for Ugandans. Are there packages for Ugandans? 2, can they develop specific packages for schools and sell them through the national school calendar to endear Ugandans to the industry? That's
Yes,
possible.
this is Donald Champion.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, this is Donald Champion.
Yes, please.
Okay, I want to advise about domestic tourism.
Yes, go right ahead.
For domestic tourism, I think we have some of the benefits of traveling. Or you tell someone to travel, but he doesn't know what will benefit in the long run. These who actually travel to Uganda, they have benefits. They have social benefits. When someone travels, he becomes, okay, he actually, you know, that he becomes productive as the source of work. And it's just in terms that I think about the benefits of traveling. Then also, we should package the right product for Ugandans. There's something that Uganda is going to buy. And it's also for the entire world. Then there is another domestic market. We have Gambian Indians here who are now Ugandans, the Ugandans. And they are also willing to travel if we give them the right product. For example, if we do like street, like boats, okay, we copy the boats they have in India and we put them like on the line. I think they can buy that product. Thank you, Amos Oketa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Amos, if you could just respond. I know that they are speaking the same language with you.
Actually, Champion, I am very impressed by Champion. I know him through social media. I know that he's doing domestic tourism drive. He's actually he started taking up Ugandans and students from university to the national parks. And I think he has extremely very nice packages. I think he has bought a number of tents, you know. In fact, this kind of efforts must be supported for such young people to be able to also earn a living, but at the same time make a difference when it comes to domestic tourism. Now, somebody said, yes, we need different operators. We need Ugandans who look at the 55,000 that go to Kenya as tourists, spending $2,000. Because not every Ugandan doesn't have money to spend. Where are they getting the $2,000 to spend? You know that Ugandans, even today, I just had 2 friends fly to Dubai. I hear they're going for a holiday. My friends were flying to South Africa. They're not spending less than what they would spend in this country. But it is the thinking that anything foreign is better than Uganda. They go to Dubai. I've been with Ugandans to the national parks. Every time I travel, I give a Ugandan who has not had an opportunity to go to the national park. They're shocked about the beauty of their own country. But at the same time, sometimes Ugandans would not like to pay because it's a Ugandan product. So we need to change that attitude as well. Eh?
Okay, I like that.
We need to change that attitude as well. But yes, I agree that it is important that the campaign begins soon to make sure that Ugandans have get more informed about opportunities available out there in terms of tourism.
Okay, before I take the next call, Richard Guma says, at purely a strategic level, Peter, can we have a desk that sits between the tour operators, government, and other stakeholders to plan for this sector? It doesn't look like the NPA understands the sector. NPA, I am thinking, is
National Planning Authority.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, I think he has a point. One of the challenges we have in tourism is there's so many power centers. And a lot of people are mistaken. They think tourism is politics. So you go politicking around. And one of the challenges we have in Uganda is that we do not have very strong people that have invested in the industry. If you look at President Uhuru, for example, in Kenya, he owns all the heritage group of hotels. If you look at the vice president, owns group of hotels. Tanzania, Mkapa owns hotels. The current president owns hotels, you know. So they understand the value of tourism. The negotiations in parliament, many parliamentarians in Kenya own facilities in tourism. So they see the value to themselves. Now, Uganda does not have that. Now, the people who own the biggest facilities, like say Munyonyo or BMK, you know, these are not their major businesses. They have other businesses. In fact, when they look at their hotels, they look at it in terms of getting people from Ministry of Finance, having conferences in their rooms. They have not attached their rooms to tourism directly. And therefore, those big boys don't come in the table to negotiate on the behalf of the tourism industry like they do in Kenya or Rwanda or Tanzania. That's one of our biggest problems. But that said, I think the challenge for Uganda, or the opportunity for Uganda, will be like he's saying, we need an authority that comes, a tourism authority that will come and be set up. You know, we have
But you have a
competent
tourism
people.
board.
tourism.
Okay, let me take the caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, you're on. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go right ahead.
Good evening, how are you?
We're okay. Your name, question, or comment?
This is Porter Munya.
Yes, Paul.
Hello?
Go ahead.
This is Porter Munya calling from within Kampala.
Yes, Paul.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Paul, unfortunately, we have to let you go. Viewers, when you call into the show, turn down the volume of your set. I know what is happening. You're trying to hear yourself on the set and then listening to the phone. Turn down the volume of your set. Talk to us. We'll be able to hear each other.
Yeah, Paul is actually a tour guide.
Oh.
In tourism is a very good one.
Hello?
Hello?
Kabuko Henry Entebbe from Lake Victoria.
Yes, Henry.
Amos,
Yes.
I want to anything, any Lake Victoria plan as far as tourism is concerned. I thank you.
Thank you very much.
That guy loves Lake Victoria. I am so passionate about Lake Victoria. I think he's very right. One of the challenges Uganda has is that we have not exploited marine tourism. You go, you fly over Lake Victoria and look at these islands. I was coming from South Africa about 2 weeks ago, and we arrived about 7, just before 7 p.m. Man, you're flying over the islands. And I thought there are no cruises, there's nothing serious happening on that.
Well, cruise to where, Bwana?
Not the islands, move from one island to another, my friend. Have you heard of Langkawi in Malawi, in Malaysia? Man, the billions of dollars made out of the islands that probably are not as quality as the Seychelles Islands.
If you went to those islands, you
Yes.
would possibly find that the sanitation facilities are there.
Yeah.
They've been provided.
Yeah.
There is a good bar that people will sit at. There will be possibly...
Yeah,
the
there was-
facilities are there.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean... So I go and...
No, I think we can start slowly, build cruises that can go on this island. Let me tell you, demand, yeah, I know that demand follows opportunities. I know that soon when Uganda starts marketing itself, there will be a lot of opportunities. And what we would like to see is seeing Ugandans investing in these islands, instead of putting up flats in the city, buying boats on that. When people see those boats, they see the accommodations on the islands. I have a friend of mine who has built an accommodation on Sese, Rashid. He had one in Queen Elizabeth. He's making far much more money than he was making in Queen Elizabeth National Park because the numbers that are flocking there. And in fact, the biggest number he has are Ugandan tourists.
Of course, Kalangala is, I think, doing pretty well.
Absolutely. But, they have a challenge of, that they had challenges of boats going back and forth, the ferries taking the guys out there. But Kabuko is very serious. He does a lot of fishing on Lake Victoria, and he's actually done very well. I think he needs to be able to give this information to other people to come and join him so they can also earn from it, but also learn from him.
I have Adam Nyombi. Adam Nyombi says, Chibazo, I've listened to this show since it began, and my gut is you guys are purely elitist. Tourism in Uganda is elitist.
I think that's a wrong accusation. Speaking in English does not make you an elitist, has it? You see the guy jumped to his conclusion.
I think I have a caller online. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you?
Hi, thank you. This is Osman calling from Ginger.
Yes.
Please, question. Hello?
Yes, go on.
Right, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go right ahead.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Please, I'm requesting, what are the procedures of, like, if you wanted to register to a company and the requirements, please?
Thank you. I think we'll respond to that before we take the break.
Yeah, it's a very simple. You go to register of companies, set up a company, a company name that can easily be remembered. And after you have done that, of course, you have to have an office. You will apply to be a member of Association of Uganda Tour Operators. They have an office in Kololo. If you meet the criteria, maybe 2 staff, 2 4-wheel drives, with pop-up roofs, and then you'll be part of the Association of Uganda Tour Operators. It's a very simple process, and you shouldn't be scared. And there are going to be lots of opportunities. We need more Ugandans participating in the industry.
Right, viewers, we're taking a break. When we return from the break, we'll look at what is it that the private sector can do for itself with or without government. Because, okay, supposing that government actually didn't move from where it is at of promoting tourism at $700,000 alone per year, is it possible that the tourism sector can invest in promotion beyond what they do now? Is it possible that the sector can embark on a sale of tourism locally and within the region with or without government? Don't go away.